This is Another Man's Nostalgia with John.
And at the very end, something really ridiculous happens, and then everything is Gucci.
So John, what? What did you say?
It's Gucci.
It's Gucci.
John's a lot more hip than we are.
Chris.
No, that was it. I had somebody else that died, but
He doesn't care.
I was confused at who it was, and I almost said the wrong person. So,
So you're just not gonna say anything. You're just not gonna say anything.
Somebody died, but I don't think he really knows.
He
who
doesn't
is.
care.
Someone died.
And Justin.
Do we want to hold Justin to his word? He's not gonna bring him to the book.
No, I won't. I know I said I wasn't gonna go back to it, but it felt more like the books in the second one.
Ah, you did it!
I know.
The episode starts now.
Hello everybody, welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia, where we revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s.
What was going on there? what was he doing?
Had to read.
Justin was out of shot. We saw the top of his head, and that was it.
Had to read a little bit.
Okay. Still don't have it, right?
What is your background, Chris?
It's Surge. You remember Surge?
You remember what Surge was?
You remember how cool it was? It was a Coke Mountain Dew, but it was like really caffeinated or something.
It was literally death in a bottle.
Death in a bottle.
It was a big '90s drink, and then it went away. I think it's back now or something.
Did y'all hear? You ever hear the rumor that Mountain Dew made your penis get smaller?
I did hear that.
I heard
Is true?
that about Sprite.
You're a chemistry teacher, Justin. Is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing. But
Okay.
you can't make that joke anymore because I actually am a chemistry teacher now.
That's right. I know. You really are. It's not as fun.
The original thing was he thought I was a chemistry major.
Yes.
I'm not a chemistry major. I'm a biology major.
Gotcha.
Anyways,
This is a great conversation.
it is. That's why I'm moving on. So let's get ahead to nostalgia news.
Do we have any?
Not too much. We have some castings for Marvel.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, so I put this in the group text, the Pod Boys,
Yes.
as they
Pod
say.
Boys? With the Z.
So we think we have found our new major Marvel villain. Right now, it looks only to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, but there's been a lot of discussion that he's the next Avengers villain. That may change due to unfortunate circumstances, obviously, but we don't know yet. But Jonathan Majors, if you've been watching Lovecraft Country, which I haven't, but I've heard it's really good, and he's apparently played a huge role. He's one of the stars, and apparently he ties everything together. He's supposed to be really good, but he's going to be what we think, and the rumor is Kang the Conqueror in that movie.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Very odd to give him the main villain role in a Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
But Ant-Man's kind of... I'm assuming they're probably going to put him and the Wasp into more of a bigger role than before. Because his movies tend to do well. And all that. So... And the bigger thing is Kang the Conqueror. Do you know whose daddy he is?
Whose?
In some comics, I think. But he's Reed Richards' dad.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So from what I've read, I didn't know this. So this is what from I've read. I have very limited comic knowledge. I have some, but I'm not unlimited. But he apparently he's a male, but he's the father of Reed Richards in some continuities. And since Marvel likes to just throw random timelines into each of their movies, and they don't really go for one timeline, that could be a way to get Reed Richards into it. And it'd be really interesting, cool. Even though Kang is a blue-faced character in most of the comics, since the guy playing him is a black man, we could be getting a black Reed Richards, which would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
So
I was a fan of the John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, but I'm cool with that too.
I think that's a little too obvious. I like in my opinion,
No.
in my opinion, I like it when Marvel makes sometimes out of the left field choices, or these guys who are just guys and girls who are just new, and they're perfect casting. That casting department's ridiculously good.
I
Over
don't
there.
feel like they casted Captain Marvel really well.
That had to more do with the writing of the movie
so
than the
boring.
character.
She's so boring.
I think that
Hey,
has.
Peter Parker. Remember doing that?
I think it has to do with the writing,
Hey, Peter Parker.
because I like Brie Larson as an actress, but that movie was written terribly.
Yeah.
It was more written as instead of a Marvel movie. It was more written of a hey, she's a girl superhero. Okay, that's
Right.
great. That's fine, but let's make her an interesting girl superhero.
Yeah,
It's been done. You can do it. Let's do it right.
Yeah, Wonder Woman came out the year before, and it was
She was
a
great.
lot better movie.
So
yeah.
let's not do Brie Larson dirty next time.
Say that
Well,
one more time.
I'm not doing that, you weirdo.
slower. What else do we got? Anything else?
That's all I got.
Yeah, not much happened.
No, Tony Hawk came out. I think we talked about it, but it's great. Go play it.
So good, so good.
No sponsorship, but go play
So
it.
good. So good.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
so
I
this week.
streamed on Twitch.
Wow.
yeah. Last
That's,
week,
that's
right?
some news. That's some news right there.
It did happen. Did you say it was gonna be every Sunday? Wasn't yesterday Sunday?
Yesterday,
Yeah,
I
how'd the stream go?
I was actually all day. I was gone yesterday. I wasn't at my house from like 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm hearing-
yesterday.
I'm
You should have streamed yourself being gone, like driving around.
I should have.
I don't usually
Doesn't
go to
sound
Twitch, but when I do,
Okay.
I do see people who do that. They have like the camera and they just walk around.
Yeah,
A little weird, but hey,
it's a little weird.
whatever.
I could be weird. I could be weird.
You be that guy.
I could be that guy.
All right, all right, Justin. So what did we watch this week?
Speaking of Twitch and just watching people walk around the city, which I think it goes a little bit with this movie.
Does it?
A little bit.
I'm pretty sure it does.
A little bit.
It's
a little
You have
weird.
people walking around the streets in the movie.
Yep.
At some point,
There is
That
a
is it.
street.
You don't think this is a little idiocracy to watch people just on the internet just walk around the city?
no.
Oh yeah, I mean they probably do that. I
It's a little weird. Anyways, we watched Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
If you didn't guess already.
So this is an odd movie. This is going to depend on if you get the message and if you like the humor. I think the message is very clear. The humor I think is a little bit layered, and
Yeah.
you can there's opinions on it and it's fine. So, but
Yeah.
there's always you have to think of this movie in two ways. I personally, when I saw this, I think I was in probably high school when I saw this, because I knew the
What year
director.
did it come out?
99.
99.
Yeah. So I saw this in high school. I knew the director because it's Mike Judge. Great shows such as King of the Hill, great movies such as Office Space, and then such shows as Daria and Beavis and Butthead were his first ones. So a little bit more, maybe not some people liked, but anyways,
You're a big Beavis and Butthead.
I love Beavis and Butthead. I think it's funny. The early stuff is pretty funny.
Right.
But anyways, this movie was hilarious when I saw it. But when I saw it, I was like,
Yeah.
man,
When did you see it? Did you see it in theaters or did you see
Oh,
it
no.
just like
I'll talk about that in a little bit with theaters. There's a very interesting story behind the movie in theaters.
I
But
heard that it didn't have like a really big budget.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But
Cool.
I really like this movie. But when I saw it, I think I saw it probably on DVD or something. I picked it up at like Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't know if people are gonna like this because this is, not that you can't be smart enough to get it. Obviously, it's easy to get the message, but the humor in this kind of does not go with everybody, and it might detract them from actually liking the movie.
Yeah.
So, Chris, John,
I feel like
I
that's-
never heard of this.
Yeah. I've never heard of
I
it
didn't know
either.
this was a thing. Yeah.
I heard of it
And,
a day before you mentioned it, Justin.
Even then, yeah, I hadn't heard of it. So I had no knowledge of what this movie was even about until I turned it on. So, but yeah.
So we'll do some fun facts on this.
Okay.
Because
Are we gonna
Yeah,
do the
good
plot?
theme.
Are we just gonna skip through the plot?
I don't know. I don't know the order of things. So
He
John,
wants to do the plot.
since you want to, keep us in order, what's the plot?
Okay. Well, you have this army dude, and he gets assigned to this mission where he has to get frozen for a year. Well, the base that he's on gets tear down, and the guy that's in charge of the mission, he's arrested for prostitution.
Yes.
That whole reason why it was tear down is hilarious.
Yeah.
But go on.
So the base gets tear down, and he sleeps for 500 years instead of actually a year. And when he wakes up, society is filled with very stupid, idiot people.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out like he's like a super average Joe, but he is now the smartest person in the world because he took an IQ test right before he went to jail.
Yes.
The reason he went to jail is because he didn't have some tattoo scanner on his wrist that everyone has. So, fast forward, he's trying to solve all these problems, and I guess he didn't solve them fast enough, so they arrested him again because he lost like a lot of jobs because he didn't solve the things fast enough. He got put into this like rumble arena where he's gladiator style. But
Yeah.
Rehabilitation.
rehabilitation.
Yes.
He's fighting all these like robots or whatever, and then it turns out that he did solve everyone's problems. He just needed some time, and everyone found out, and then that was the end. He became vice president of the United States. Oh, he became president of the United States.
He became president. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He decides to stay there and not because there is no time machine. He's looking for this time machine the whole time. He realized there is no time machine. So, that's
it.
That's a good plot.
That's it. That's it.
You got
It's pretty
Luke
straightforward.
Wilson as the main guy. Dax Shepard.
I-
Rudolph.
Dax Shepard is probably my favorite character in this movie.
I figured he would be.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's something.
Terry
I don't
Crews.
think he's a very good actor. Terry Crews. Yeah.
Terry
Yeah,
Crews.
Terry Crews is in
The
this.
president.
Justin Long is the doctor in one scene.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
That's about it.
That's about all the big names, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so let's get into plot.
Well, fun facts.
So-
Oh, he had a fun fact.
Now
the
you're
fun
you're
facts.
getting messed up here.
No.
Okay, so
Chris is gonna edit that out, right?
nope.
You're gonna edit that.
So Mike Judge came up with the idea when he was visiting Disneyland, and he saw with him and his family, and he saw two mothers with kids in strollers fighting and cursing at each other. So he thought it'd be horrible if humanity acted like that in the future, but everybody did, because you're at the happiest place on earth, and everybody is fighting with each other.
So what you're saying
yeah.
is he saw two idiots, or a family of idiots, and he was like, I'm gonna make a movie about idiots.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy.
That's great. That's great.
Okay,
That's
so
a great idea.
Fox was the distributor for this movie. All right, 20th Century Fox. They were not very happy with a lot of the ways that they took corporations, known corporations, and basically shit on them, like Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
And they don't really care about Fox News.
I was about to say they had Fox News in the movie.
Fox is pretty open to letting you shit on them because they don't care. Like The Simpsons did it for years and years, and nobody cared. So that's not really the big issue. It's like Taco Bell, Carl's Jr., butt fuckers, Fuddruckers, all that stuff. They were like really worried about bringing that out. So what they wanted to do was put the DVD as quick as possible. It wasn't even the content of the movie. It was, we don't want to piss off these other corporations. So what they did
I was
was,
surprised that they actually could use their names, like in the movie.
it's satire, so it's okay. You know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So the film's contract said it had to be a theatrical release. So they did the bare minimum. So what they did was they had no marketing at all. This movie was not marketed. They put it in only about maybe 10, 30 theaters in every state, if that.
Oh,
So-
I was about to say, in the United States, there was only 10 theaters that had it? That's
No, like
ridiculous.
10, maybe 30 in each state. You know how it says select movie theaters only? When you see like
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
that's what this was.
This is what it was.
Okay, and it was pulled after a week, literally. So it was 1 week in the theater, pulled after a week. All right, so very few cinemas.
Like, pulled, like that's, like, what they wanted to do, or pulled for like, they were about to get sued.
That's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to pull the movie as quick as possible, just to get their contracts obligated, and just threw it on the DVD.
crazy.
So
and-
it was literally there for, like, a weekend.
Maybe, if that. And so theaters had such a small notice of this that they didn't even know the name of it, so they advertised it as Untitled Mike Judge Project.
Nice.
That was the name. So to call this movie a cult classic is literally, this is a cult classic for real. Because this movie
How
had...
did you find this movie?
I knew somebody who had watched it. I can't remember who turned me on to it and said, you need to watch this movie.
Yeah, he saw, like, the DVD cover and it said Untitled Mike Judge movie, and he was like, what is
It
this?
said Idiocracy. I had heard about the movie. I knew, like,
Yeah.
I had heard the name Idiocracy, but I didn't know what it was about. So I was always interested in it, but I didn't know if it was good or not because I've never heard of this movie before. Even if it came out like 7 years before I would even really be able to watch this movie. I hadn't heard of it.
But then when you saw it, you fell in love with it.
I wouldn't say fell in love, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I really like this
I don't
movie.
have a love relationship with this movie. I just like it.
It's definitely a top maybe 20 comedy movie for me. Not top 20 movie of all time. But I think it's
Right.
but it's funny for different ways than the humor.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily
It is
that they
crazy.
say butt fuckers, even though it's kind of funny. It's the
Okay,
reason.
so-
It's the reason why they're saying it.
let's get to the plot of the movie.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have everyone in the future that's an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
For real.
yeah, for real. Like, their IQ is maybe what, 80?
They're probably like fourth. They're fourth and fifth graders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard because you feel like, honestly, society is going in this direction now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
this is-
exaggerated, but
It's
there are
very
things
super
that are
exaggerated.
happening.
It's super exaggerated, and it's
Right.
500 years in the future. But if
Yeah.
you look at people, I don't know. I think it's a weird concept. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it a lot.
Because you're living in it right now.
I know. We got a reality star president.
Yeah.
And just like all the like how easy everything is like so much like a regular phone, like how simple they make a phone it is to use. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to
Yes.
know anything anymore. It's all it's all
All
crazy.
big buttons.
But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was a pretty good premise, and
You did?
yeah.
It just
I mean, the
threw me
plot-
off. It threw me off.
Yeah, yeah. I like the corporation things. I thought those were pretty funny. How they merged like all those together, like the Taco Bell. What was it, like Taco Bell Verizon something?
Yeah.
it was funny.
Or Carl's Jr. will take your kids away because you're a bad mother because you can't pay for
Yeah.
your food.
And then he gets arrested because he's like, "Are you the bad mother?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah.
And then they like shoot him or like tase him or something. It was funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
I did laugh in this movie.
Yeah.
I did laugh.
I think the funniest reason why he gets arrested is for being a dick and for fucking up lots of shit.
And what did they say? And he talks like a.
He talks like an F.
Oh yeah.
He talks
Yeah.
like an F.
They-
Yeah.
Yeah. They a lot of jokes about that.
Yeah.
And this movie did not age well.
But so I know that word shouldn't be used anymore. But if you were a stupid society, and this all kind of goes back to using those hate words in a movie. Is that okay? Like, this is not.
Yeah.
Is this a period? Would this be considered a period piece if
They
you're
said
trying
the
to
N-word in the
show?
movie too.
Yeah. Is that considered a
Did they?
period piece? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna answer that. I don't know. I think that's for other people. But
Everybody else will find out. I really liked it, plot wise. I mean, I think some of the humor didn't land, but I think the premise, and I think honestly, like I said, some of the stuff's already come true, and so it's kind of funny to see. So I would give it a 4. I like the plot.
Are you saying a reality TV or star is our president now? Is that what you're?
I mean, that's true.
You're saying
Exactly.
that's already come true.
He also did a wrestling thing once.
Yep.
I played on a ring one time.
And he did more than once. He was in WWE at least 2 or 3 times.
Of course he was. Yeah, that, and like I said, the simple things, the merging of all of these companies. Did y'all know that AT&T owned HBO? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you have HBO
John-
Max.
Anyways.
John Oliver always makes a joke about it
I don't
because
know.
he'll diss AT&T. He's like, "Yeah, Big Daddy, I made a joke about you, Big Daddy."
It's so funny when he does that. John, what's your score?
You know what? Oh yeah. Good.
I didn't find it bad, but it threw me off a lot.
Too
Just,
real.
I don't know what it was. It was just very uneasy. It's very uneasy.
Does that make it good? Does that make it good though?
I don't know, and that's the problem. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I don't really know what to think about
All
that.
right. I think it's a solid 4.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a solid 4.
It's not a solid 4.
I think it
There's no
is.
way it's a solid 4.
don't think it's solid.
You're watching a comedy movie that makes you think.
it's a weak 4.
It's a solid 4
it's a
for
little,
me.
It's a little floppy 4.
You calling it solid makes me want to give you a 3.
I think it's a solid 4.
It's a
All
floppy 4.
Okay, next.
Justin, can I guess your favorite line of this movie?
I bet you already know it, but go ahead.
Is it when they knocked on the door and he goes,
Go away, Baton!
"How did I know?"
How is that not the funniest line?
Oh my god.
Well,
Or,
I didn't laugh
I
at
like
it, but I was
money.
like, yeah, I laughed a little bit at that. I didn't laugh at it. I was like, Justin's gonna find that one funny.
So, so main characters.
Okay.
So you have Joe, which is Luke Wilson. You have Rita, Maya Rudolph. I think Frito is definitely a main character. I guess his lawyer.
Yes.
I guess that's what he does.
Yeah,
It's
right.
his friend. It's his friend.
Yeah,
That guy said you did it though. That whole I'm getting off track. But that whole first courtroom scene where he's just realizing how big of an idiot all these people are is just hilarious to me.
it's pretty good. Yeah,
Anyways, I think those are our main characters.
yeah.
Joe, Rita, and Frito. What y'all think?
Okay.
Rita didn't bother me, honestly. I felt like she was a pretty solid character. She didn't really say anything that was like annoying. How it was weird. How long of a span was it that he was like the movie was?
I think only like 3 or 4
Time-wise.
days.
There's 3 or 4 days I went through that movie. Okay.
Maybe a week. I mean, it wasn't very long.
Okay. So she just seemed to like fall in love with him like really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of shoehorned that in there.
A little bit. But, let's be honest.
I didn't.
That's the only sane person he has left there.
Yes.
True.
So I didn't like that he was supposed to be portrayed as an average character, but he would say dumb things.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't figure out what was it. Upgrade was her pimp and not her boyfriend, and she
those
like
jokes
hates-
those jokes I liked. I like those.
But remember,
Did you really?
he's like completely, he's the average person. So,
Right.
but
Yes.
he hated interaction, so he didn't really get it. So I can understand why you're like, really? How do you not know Upgrade is her pimp? But she didn't really give any vibes that was her, that she was that kind of person around him, because she said it was her boyfriend.
Okay, but here's the thing. In one scene, they brought her to him when he was at the crops, and they go, yeah, she was like,
Because they think every girl
Prostitution,
is a
trying to get
prostitute in
money.
that. Because they think every girl's a prostitute.
Logic's really sound, John.
okay.
They're idiots. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying
you would
I'm
think
saying
they would
the
think
main
she's a
character's
prostitute.
an idiot. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Luke Wilson
Saying
is supposed to be kind of an
portrayed as
airhead.
Okay.
He's Luke Wilson
And-
playing Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
And then who was the other main guy?
Frito,
Frito. Dak Shepard.
the best character.
See, I like him as an actor. I think he plays like stupid people really well, and like douchebags really well.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like it was like a pretty much a great role for him. My favorite line with him is they get out of Starbucks and he was like, "Did I go in with pants on?" And he was like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
But I would give it a 3.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.
Yeah. I liked Luke Wilson and Maya Rudolph's characters. I didn't really like Dak Shepard in this. I thought he was stupid. And how did he become famous? Like, how did he like he's not that great.
He's just a bit guy. He's a bit guy.
I know. I don't know. I didn't like him in this. I thought he was. This is a little out of his range, I think, to act like that. I don't know, personally.
I think it's
But,
perfect.
some people,
But
I think some. Anyways, I would give it a 3. I didn't like him, but the other two were fine.
I'm a 4 just because of Frito, because he's my favorite character.
Of course he is.
Go away, Baton.
All right.
Oh my
I
god.
knew it. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, it's like Justin loves this movie.
It's not the only reason, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So next is minor characters.
Yes, pretty much everybody else. My favorite minor character is probably the guy in charge of the whole military operation, because he goes from this straight-laced guy to liking the pimp lifestyle.
Yeah.
A gentleman who goes by the name Upgrade, which he spells thusly. With 2 Ds, as he says, for a double dose of this pimping. Upgrade agreed to loan us Rita for exactly 1 year and keep quiet on the matter in exchange for certain leeways with the local authorities in running his pimp game. First, however, there was the difficult challenge of gaining his trust.
Collins, can we skip to the technicals, please?
Sure. Let me just finish here. You see, a pimp's love is very different from that of a square.
Collins!
Fine. We'll move on. It is a fascinating world, though.
That scene was really funny when he's trying to explain it to me at the beginning.
And he's going, and he's like, "Yeah, no, this is enough, move on." And
it's
he's
just
like
slides
trying to move
and
on to
slides.
his slideshow, and it's just him with the pimps and like all the girls and everything like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
He's my favorite
I
sidekick.
did laugh at that scene, and he's like, "Jesus!" Like,
My favorite minor character was Terry Crews. I thought he was hilarious
Yeah.
as the president with his long hair.
President Camacho.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was pretty great. It was fine. Everybody else was fine. I guess I'll give you an average. It was 3. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna give this a 4. I liked all the minor characters. I liked the policeman that kept freaking spraying him with mace
Yeah.
every time
Or,
we talked.
or anytime they saw a car, they would just shoot and blow it up.
Yeah.
Oh man, the scene when Frito's car's getting shot, and then everyone's just like starts to like form around it, and then Frito gets
Yeah.
into it. He's like, yeah, and he's like, that's your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
So I liked all the cabinet characters. I thought they were pretty funny too.
Yeah. They were.
The only one that annoyed me was like the kid,
Right.
the little kid that was on the council.
But it has electrolytes.
The electrolyte scene
No,
was really funny.
I like the electrolyte scene.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
But Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops.
Yes.
Water. Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look. The plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
You mean at water out of the toilet?
It's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty great. Like, yeah, that's one of those things you can see happening in the future, also. Something like that.
What is it? What's the company that gives them all the water?
Brondo.
Surge.
Brondo.
Did you know Thomas Hayden Church was the CEO of Brondo?
Yeah, I saw that.
I forgot to mention him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love the how everybody in the news is like super muscular too.
Yeah. No.
Dude, the news freaking anchors with the shirtless, and it would like every single time he said ass, it would go like ass.
So, John, I agree with your score. I think it's a 4. I think Camacho and the military guy make it for me, at least in that regard. And there's somebody just one-off little people who are just really funny. Just have like one line or something. Like the Costco guy. Like, welcome to Costco. I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
Next is acting.
I'm gonna say mine real quick because
Go for it.
mine's really short. I think it took a lot to act like that.
Chris.
No.
I think it's just a 3.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2 also.
It's a
Joey's
2.
a 2, yeah.
I can see why you think
I-
that. It doesn't take much to make a stupid, stupid voice and act like that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. Honestly, I thought Dak Shepard was terrible in it, personally.
Terry Crews, I think, was probably the best.
Terry
What'd you
Crews
say?
and Maya Rudolph was really good, too.
Yeah, I still think Terry Crews did the best with Camacho.
Yeah. It's a good character.
I don't know. I just
well,
there was this whole. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. This whole movie was very average. It was very average. The last couple things we watched have been very average, but this movie was very average. I laughed a little bit, but there wasn't anything like out of the ordinary that I would be like, no, that makes this a good movie. Like there's nothing. Like there's everything. I'm like, yeah, this is a okay movie. Yeah, these are okay characters. The only thing I liked was just like a couple scenes within the movie. And
I can see that, and I don't blame you for it. But I think this is a solid, at least for me as a whole. It's a 4 for me. I like that comedy. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
boring comedy. You like? So you like?
I love all of it. I love the stupidity of these people. It's great to me.
I think there's as many misses as there were hits when it came to jokes, personally. So I kind of agree, John. I think it was pretty average.
I get that, but I also think it's really hard to make stupid comedy funny, and I think they do a pretty good job of it.
You know,
That's a good point.
I'm about to say something that's very controversial.
Oh, what's
But,
new?
I like this better than Christmas Vacation.
Okay, that's stupid.
It's not controversial. It's just stupid.
I thought we were going to have to put something in
And
the
wrong.
racist folder here in a second, but I just got to put that in the stupid folder.
Stupid. It's just wrong.
No, there was
It's very wrong.
There was, see, Christmas Vacation. That was boring. There was nothing really
Just
funny
stop-
about
stop.
Christmas Vacation.
Move on,
There was
Chris.
some things that were funny about
What's
this
next?
movie.
We've already heard a shitty opinion on this way too many times.
Does it hold up?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hold up.
No.
No. Okay, so the
Not
comedy
Christmas
holds
Vacation,
up.
this movie.
The comedy holds
Yeah.
up.
Oh.
The comedy holds
Yeah.
up, but there's a lot of racist things that you say in here that wouldn't hold
Yeah.
up, like just certain specific lines. So
The
I
jokes
can't
are
say
crude, yeah.
as a whole the movie doesn't hold up. Just certain aspects of it doesn't hold up, and the aspects that don't hold up are very bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think that the some of the humor just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't hold up well. But I think the plot does. So it's kind of a weird balance. It's a comedy movie, so it's supposed to be, it's supposed to wrap around the humor, but the humor kind of holds up, but doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little. It's yes.
The humor hits a little bit too close to home because of kind of everything.
Does that
that's
make you
going on.
uncomfortable?
It does. Just because of everything that's going on, but I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, I'll give
I'm
Middle
gonna
of
give
the
it
Road 3.
3.
I think when y'all talk about the controversial aspects with the word usage, at least,
Yeah.
I'm of the mind that because I'm a in my opinion, nobody should use those words, in everyday life. Obviously,
Yeah.
They shouldn't use let's go at her family style.
Yeah, probably not. I would highly suggest not saying that. But at the same time, I'm somebody who
says those things.
No,
He uses that language pretty often.
it's what I say every week.
I really like having sex with girls. People don't say that.
But for real though, I'm always somebody who thinks that comedy should be free when it comes to that.
Right.
To a certain point. I always like to use Tropic Thunder as an example, but the problem with that is because that's even worse if you really think about it.
Yeah.
With the
Tropic
blackface.
Thunder is so bad.
But at the same time, it was accepted because, and I think it's still accepted today because of the intent behind it.
Right.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know if this movie hits that same
over
level.
to the top ridiculousness.
I think it's ridiculous. I think we know when they use those words, you're meant to see how stupid and how ignorant they are. The problem is the time this movie came out, those words were used too much still. Right. Does that kind of makes sense, especially with the F word.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was used way too much still. So I think this movie was made closer to around the time now. I think we would see it as a obviously something that says, hey, this is what stupidity looks like. But since it was made in the time it was, that word was used, and let's be honest, by us a lot of the time too. Nobody was free of saying I never used that word. I used that word, and now I stopped using it because I know how hurtful it is. But back then, it was not seen that way. So, John, I understand what you're saying there, and I agree with you in that point with this movie. But I don't think in general, shying away from controversial words like in art and stuff, I think is really dumb. So, but this movie,
I get what you're saying.
I agree.
I think, and I think it just doesn't quite land the same. I get what you're saying, like how it's supposed to be like there's supposed to be like a stupid society in the future. I think like you can look at like The Office as like an example, like where the things Michael say are some of the stuff's pretty bad, but he's also an idiot, and you know he's an idiot. And I feel like that just doesn't quite come across as well in this movie because
it's the time period.
It's
the time. It's the reason is it was 1999, and that word was still used too much.
Yeah.
All right, so you got 3. You got 3 from me.
Desire to continue watching? You guys, what was the rule? If you want to watch it in a year?
There's an Idiocracy 2. President Camacho's Revenge.
He took my freaking presidency. That's what he's mad.
That's right. Would you want to watch it again in a year?
No.
I don't really care to ever see this movie again.
No.
It was fine. I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, no. I give it a 1.
Oh.
I don't want to see this again.
I give it a 3 just because I maybe watch this every couple of years. It's on my back burner, so it's a 3.
Right.
But it's in rotation.
Myself through that.
It was. No, I mean, I get it. I mean, watching it, I knew you like this is humor.
This is one of those movies. Once again, like I was pissed y'all didn't like Blues Brothers. That pissed me off.
No.
But this one I get.
This is way better than Blues Brothers, though.
I agree.
You shut your whore mouths. All right.
Did you say shut my whore mouth?
That's right. Blues Brothers is a classic. Anyways,
but this was way better. This is way better than a classic.
No.
Christmas Vacation shows you
John,
that not all classic movies
I will
are
listen
good.
to Chris on that more than you with your shitty Christmas Vacation take. You have lost all kind of any type of what's the word I'm looking for? Credibility with me with comedy movies.
Sure.
Maybe I should just leave the podcast.
But seriously though, coming into this, I knew not everybody would like it. It's a cult classic for a reason. It's tailored to a certain comedic life.
Right.
I'm probably not gonna get much out of this, but it's the only thing I could think of.
The premise.
Comedy.
You could do premise.
The comedy.
The premise. What idea this is?
So y'all said you laughed, so I might get something out of this. But what did y'all think of the comedy?
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, I think there's as many misses as there were hits.
I think I did a decent job of not hyping this up. I feel like.
No, you did. You did. You didn't say it was hilarious or anything, and I probably would have been more like upset with it if you had.
Here's the issue.
Okay,
go Chris. No, go Chris.
Talking about these things, like there was some really funny stuff in it. I'm going to give you a 3. It was average. Like I said, as many hits as misses, but the hits were pretty funny, and like just talking about them with you guys has made me laugh. Like the commander, the pimp thing, and then yeah. So I give you 3.
I think this is what was throwing me off about this movie. I think I just figured it out. That I would think things were funny, but I wouldn't laugh at them. Like, I would just be in my head, oh, that's funny.
So are you stupid?
Right.
There's a delay.
No, it's just like,
Was that
okay.
funny? What?
Like, you could say things that are like, oh, yeah, that's kind of funny. And then, like, you're not laugh at that. Like, you just think that's
It's only
kind of
laugh or not
amusing.
laugh, John.
Okay.
No, I get
You
what you're
either go-
saying. I understand that.
You either go 100% or
Like it's
0%.
almost like you're like that would make me chuckle, but you don't want to laugh.
It's not that I don't want to laugh. It's just it wasn't funny enough to make it. Okay,
No,
so
that's what I meant.
the
Like
scene,
you don't feel like you feel the need to laugh.
the scene that is an example is the not sure scene where he gets his name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. But I didn't laugh at it. I just thought, hey,
Right.
that's kind of funny.
I got a chuckle.
Right.
I got a chuckle.
It's like, I don't know. That's just, it's a very average scene. And it's funny, but it's not laughing funny.
Right.
So, and that's what was throwing me off. Like, there was a lot of that in this movie, I felt like. There was, yeah, that's funny. But I'm not
It's a
laughing.
funny premise.
It's a funny premise, I guess. I'm not laughing.
I get what you're trying to go for.
So,
Get it?
So,
I feel you.
I'm going off of comedy premise. Like, I'm gonna
5, obviously.
It's a 5.
No more of that premise.
It was like every scene I laughed. It's I.
I'm gonna go. Oh, what was
What
your
did you
score,
give it, John?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh.
Again, I
Uh-oh.
thought there were some things that were funny, but I didn't laugh at them.
I was expecting a 3, but I was gonna give it a 4 too. So we found it just as funny. Yeah, I like this movie more. I think it's pretty quotable, to be honest. But yeah, it's definitely something that you're just like, oh, like that's good. I get it.
Yeah.
Another scene, as an example, is when they're at the crops and the sprinklers come on, and the dude like goes over to the sprinklers. He's like, like drinking the sprinklers, and I was like, that's funny, but I didn't laugh.
Right. Yeah.
It has electrolytes.
It has electrolytes.
All right, so what did I get on that, Chris? What's the
Yeah,
final
you got 20. It's pretty good. Pretty average.
All right, I
Pretty
expected that.
average.
I think that might be Justin. You've had a lot of misses this season. I think it might be your highest.
But my
rating.
misses were very obvious this year. I'm not going
This is your highest. What did we watch
Yeah,
from Justin this season?
Inspector
Bad
Gadget and the Master of Disguise.
Wait, what was my first one?
Those are bad.
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector
and the
Gadget.
Master of
Oh yeah,
Disguise.
Inspector Gadget. I knew was bad.
Yeah.
And then Master of Disguise, which is basically a fuck you to everybody.
Lowest score ever. Yeah. All right.
What did
Yeah,
he
not
get for
bad.
Master of Disguise?
7.
7?
7. Yep.
So you averaged a 1 in every single category.
Who is your daddy?
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Everything I got
averaged
lined
a
up.
1.
Everything I got
Because
lined
there's
up is
7
better.
categories, right?
There is 7 categories. Yeah.
Or is there 8 categories?
No, there's 7. Yeah. So you average
Yeah.
1.
So you averaged a 1 in every single category. Maybe you got a 2 and a 0 in 1.
He did.
I don't know.
At the
Two
very
and two
least,
zeros.
I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
I knew it was bad, so I knew I was going
That's
to get that
great.
score. It was almost like
is
I was
great.
tricking the system.
Yeah. I'm really excited about your next
great.
one, Justin, because we've kind of talked about what it's going to be. I think it's going to be very different for the podcast. So
Yeah, I'm pretty
We'll talk about it in a couple
excited for it.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be closer to the one that everyone hates on YouTube. Our videos that everyone hates.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think we're up to like 60,000 views.
But hey, the first time that I showed out MXC, it did pretty well for me. So I think going off the grid here is going to help me again.
Yeah.
So next week, we are going to. It's actually a movie I was planning on doing this year, but we have a new Patreon who wants us to do this movie, and he brought it up. And so Steven, our Patreon Steven, wants us to do.
Shout out.
Steven, can I call you Steve?
Yeah. Call him Steve.
No.
It's
Or
PH.
Or
So
Stev.
he might not
No.
like that. Steph.
Steb.
But yeah, we're gonna watch Emperor's New Groove, and I'm gonna make it my movie. No, what we're gonna do is a little different. This is the first time we've had a Patreon who, while we do these point systems, so he is going to. He actually already did give us his points and his summary of each category. So should be pretty cool to have his input on it. I love this movie. I think
averages score into it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's got David Spade, John Goodman, Putty.
I think this is one of the funniest cartoons, honestly, when it comes to it. I just think it's very quick, very funny humor.
Anything with Putty in it, I'm in for.
Yeah. So I'm excited to watch it.
You just like David Spade.
I do not like David Spade. I'm not a fan.
What does David Spade have to do with this?
Isn't he the main?
He is, but Putty is what makes it great.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be a good time. That'll be next week. John, you want to take us home?
Yes. All right. So you can find us on social media, Another Man's Pod, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also email us at anothermanspod@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions for us, we have a Patreon as well. Just like next episode, we have a Patreon member that has suggested something for us. You can do the exact same with going to our Patreon at Another Man's Nostalgia and donate. And if you donate to any of the tiers, you'll get a shout out and a suggestion to one of the shows or movies that you would like to pick. We also have a Twitch and a TikTok, and that's at Another Man's Nostalgia. What episode are they gotta go back and watch this season?
Ooh,
I guess a Disney movie.
You do a Disney movie.
What
Aladdin.
Disney movie has animals? Well, never mind.
Aladdin.
Oh, you Aladdin?
Aladdin.
Okay, I don't know what that is. Season 1, episode 22? 20? Somewhere around there.
Aladdin.
Go check it out. I don't have it up.
Yeah. Go watch. Go listen to Aladdin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we got. We got anything else? No. Yes.
I don't think so. All right.
Oh, we're on YouTube.
Yes, you can watch us there.
If you want to go watch us on, if you want to go watch the podcast, you can go watch us on YouTube.
If you guys want
Chris
to
has
go,
a big surge in the back of his face.
Surge.
Justin, you can't see Justin, but
right,
he's there.
you're Terry Crews, Justin this time with the long hair.
All right. I want you to make me like the guy from Costco.
The guy from Costco. Yeah.
Just his quote at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Go
Costco. I love you.
I love you.
That's basically me.
All right. Well, we will see you next week with Emperor's New Groove.
Peace.